Yes. Hello. We are live. We are ready. Well, not really, but hello, internet world out there. If you're watching, this is going to be super fun, and we're going to clumsily go through this adventure. If you're not watching, you're missing out. Or if you're watching on VOD, you'll get to at least pause and look at our mistakes in, like, zoom in. You can see all our mistakes and hear them. So hopefully you can hear some cool stuff. We've got some new sound equipment that we're trying to test out, and you're all our guinea pigs. So we love you for it. So we're going to get into the game. First, I think I'm going to start letting you guys just give us your name, even though your name's right there. You don't have to tell us what character you're playing. That usually comes out in game. Or you can go in the past episodes if a character's been in the game before. In past episodes, you'll be able to find out who they are. So, in other words, I'm encouraging you to watch all of our shows. So, go ahead. Let's start. Who's playing this character called Doll?
That's me.
That's you.
So Scooter, just to I guess repeat your instructions, since last time I did the wrong thing. You just want us to say our names, and that's it. And what we
This
are.
sounds good.
Basically. Okay. Okay, so Doll, she's Rakashan. She's basically a 4-foot tall, white and gray ragdoll cat, and she has a chainsaw.
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, we've seen that in play already. And then who's playing Switch?
That would be moi. My name is Michelle. Howdy. Switch is an android. They, them pronouns. About 5'10", android hacker extraordinaire. And has a shotgun. Not as cool as the chainsaw, though.
Well, I don't know. And who's playing T4, or now T4 Cole?
Hi, everybody. My name's Sven. I'm playing T4 Cole, another android. About, I think, 6 foot even. I'm not sure how tall I made him. Bit of a mishmash of a couple personalities that have been thrown to one, and doesn't talk very well. And also has, like, I think, a katana in his spine that's removable. So that's roughly about the too long didn't read. So I'll move on.
Well, and for the other two remaining characters that have not played in the game yet, you don't need to introduce yourselves. We will get to that very shortly. Let's go ahead and start the adventure then. On the plains of the Vegetonian Kingdom, on the planet Polulate, a royal steed comes through the thick-bladed grass. It's very, very thick, quite tall, but moves with grace and moves with confidence, vigor, all those cool, powerful words. On his reigns through, wandering through to check on the status of the kingdom, no real papers have been issued for him to do anything at this point, just checking on the kingdom itself. And while going through these thick-bladed grass that's very kind of hard to see through, it's almost the size of small trees, is how thick it is, comes across a smaller than him humanoid creature with wings. What do you say, Sir Carrington?
Halt and be recognized, winged creature. You stand before a knight of Vegetonia. State your purpose.
He's looking at you, Nova.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you anything.
Nothing. I have never seen a creature such as you. You seem to be neither fruit or vegetable.
Nah, but they like hanging out with me.
They do. Are you a friend then?
Are you a friend?
We have never met, so not yet, I would suppose. But I'm open to the idea of, pleasant communication.
Well, then let's call us buddies.
Let's not move so fast. I still don't know who you are.
The name's Nova. I'm a little new around here, but I think that we're going to get off to a great start.
I am Sir Maxwell Carrington, a knight of House Starch. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet ya.
No question. Is Nova, human-sized? Because Sir Carrington is the size of a carrot.
Yes, it's basically small humanoid sized for you. So, not normal fairy size, right? But probably the equivalent of maybe 5 foot in your compared to your size. Does that make sense? So you're similar in size.
Oh, cool. So, don't notice the size difference then. Just a strange winged creature out in the middle of the woods. Who is this thing? But anyways, do you have a destination, Nova?
Well, I was hoping to stick around here for a bit if you don't mind.
Stick around here in just the middle of the grasslands, doing who knows what.
Collecting grass.
Noble pursuit.
The different blades have different properties, you know.
Such as?
Well, some are stronger than others, some are weaker than others, some even have magical properties. Did you know this?
That's something only the eggplant wizards speak of. Arcane
The eggplant wizards, that's where I want to go. Tell me more.
Well, I only know of one. He is the court wizard of House Starch. He doesn't especially like me ever since that incident we will not talk about.
So you'll introduce us then?
What's the point of doesn't really like me? Do you not understand? No, I can't introduce you. He'll probably turn us both into beets or something.
Nah, everybody likes me.
Well, you're welcome to try your luck. Don't say I didn't warn you. Come on, Sydney. We'll escort our new friend over to House Starch. See if she can actually make friends with the eggplant wizard.
As you are turning around as two new acquaintances that you're still a little standoffish from each other, but not quite. You're not enemies. You're not frenemies. You're not friends. It's to be determined at this point. As you turn around and you're headed back to House Starch, you are met with one of House Starch's very new pages on a much smaller steed than yours, Sir Carrington, and produces a scroll and hands it to you. Very sweaty, very scared. Sir, there's something we need to tend to. And
What's
he's
the
shaking.
matter? What's the matter?
And
Go on, speak up, boy.
Lord Starch hasn't come back.
What? Our lord, your lord, hasn't come back?
No, our Lord hasn't come back. And at that point, we will go ahead and get back to Doll, Switch, and T4 Cole. Between the three of you, who would like to do a small recap of what happened last episode? You can only dodge the bullet for so long, guys.
1, 2, 3, not it.
I can do it. It won't be as good as Jace, since he has eidetic memory apparently.
He writes everything down and puts it in his library.
Exactly, he just pulled it from his library. So from what Doll paid attention to, the last time in what we did, we were we were still stuck on the magical. I guess it wasn't magical. It was the transport, and oh my gosh, my memory is worse than I expected. So we are all from different worlds, areas. We are stuck on this ship that was kind of made up of different parts that it had a destination, but all of a sudden it kind of lost power. And when it did, we were stuck in the middle of nowhere, and we were trying to figure out why we're all put together, why we have these headbands on that we gave us auditory and visual hallucinations. And while we were trying to figure that out, a little rubbery, leathery thing called Pip decided to join us, bringing T4 Cole. And I think his name was Pip, right?
Bit.
Pit. Okay.
Pip,
Yes.
Pip is the curse word in this universe.
I was just thinking.
So
that.
I could understand if
I'm gonna
you
remember
wanted to
that.
call him Pip.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to call him Pip.
Yes,
I
you
wanted to chew on him a little bit. So anyway, he came and he didn't seem malicious. He was trying to fix, the ship that we were on, and we were exploring the ship. And basically, there was no other safety ships. There was one escape pod that's still left, available for one person. But while we were trying to gather everything again, Pitt fixed the ship. All the power came back, but with that power came a glitch that was trying to attack us due to some, broken wires that were just laying there. No one knows what happened to cause those wires to be, broken. Actually, Doll had chainsawed them for.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
Somebody put a chainsaw through
she
those
was just like,
wires.
yeah, no, it's fine. It was just there. So then we more or less defeated the glitch, and now we're just chilling.
Yes, and at the end of you guys taking the reins of the ship, in a sense, as a bit got ported out, you got rid of the glitch, and you heard a very familiar voice that encompassed the whole ship. I am always here. You heard Hal
Our buddy Hal.
had returned since now, and it's pretty easy to know, especially from Switch. It would be either Switch or Jace, but Switch and Jace notice that it's just part of the ship. Because you guys have been inside the, you guys have hacked it enough to know that Hal is the ship. So you guys are all there. Jace is trying to have a conversation with Hal constantly, and Doll, I don't know if you're still trying to intimidate Hal. I know that's kind of your style, but you do notice in the programming that Bit had programmed the ship for a destination, and because before he left, he said you need to find Vegetonia. And there's a destination now programmed in the ship, which Switch and T4 Cole, because I know you were hooked up at one point also, pretty easy to know that it's headed for the planet Pullulate.
Can you spell that?
Pullulate.
Thank you. We had also we had those halos on also, and
You don't, though.
I do not.
Right.
I had also told everybody to take them off. I don't know if T4 and Doll did after that, but and the ring.
I didn't have one on,
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't. That's right. You didn't have one on.
and I
Just-
removed yours as part
Yes,
of what I
you
was doing.
removed
I was
mine.
trying to fix the shaking off of you.
Right.
And
And,
that-
then the ring that Bit had given us, I had taken off and told everybody to take their rings off. I think that's
Yeah,
what.
yeah, and you are
often
noticing
happens.
as the conversations go on that Doll you cannot interpret what Doll is saying specifically. Or
So all I hear
Brucon.
is meow.
But you can understand gestures at this point, but the without the halo itself, the communication is still just between you and the other droids.
Okay.
That's what you can understand at this point. You can still understand
Okay.
some of the gestures, and it's since you've been communicating quite well and quite fluently for a little while now, you can understand what the purpose of what they're trying to say, but the specifics is decently difficult.
Okay.
What's happening with
Brucon and Jace. Are they
Brucon.
technically still
Brucon
with
is,
us, or
is trying to have conversations with Hal, finding his own posh little corner to have those discussions. Jace is trying to read his books that nobody has actually physically seen these books that Jace seems to be reading constantly. And as that keeps going on, you do see in front through the small hole the where you could see outside. And you guys, Switch and T4 Cole, you're pretty connected with the ship and Hal at this point. There's no real. Before there was a lot of you had kind of ask questions back and forth, but now it's kind of just an open communication between you two. Almost virtually through your own personal hotspot or MiFi.
okay.
So as you're feeling that you can see through this ship, and you physically, Doll, and others that have not been connected to the ship, that there is a large wormhole that you're headed straight forward to, and the destination is to go through that wormhole. And as you hit through that wormhole, your whole ship like disappears and reappears. And it reappears in the middle of a large, really large prairie. It feels like almost in the middle of nowhere. And Sir Carrington and Nova, you hear almost like a whirring sound. A kind of a, and you see this large container just show up in the middle of Vegetonian Kingdom, in the middle of the prairie.
The gods, fresh and rotten, were under attack by the fruits.
Yeah, that's not something you see every day.
What do we do with that?
I don't know. You're the one in charge.
I am just a knight. I'm not.
Well, I'd
what
tell
is-
you to call your lord, but it sounds like you guys got a little bit of a problem there.
This might be in connection to Lord Starch's disappearance, and it hasn't
Maybe.
killed us yet.
I say we check it out.
Well, lead on, Nova. You appear to be more of an expert of this than I am, so go right ahead. I will be right behind you.
So are they approaching? So they see
Approaching.
it. So they hear the whirring, and then they see it.
Then they see it. And you,
Okay.
Hal, you have reached your destination. Does this make you happy?
What destination?
You are on planet Pululate,
That's not Vegetonia.
in the vast kingdom of Vegetonia.
Ah.
So multi-planet.
Okay.
Yeah, Doll is just like, I hate. Well, all she does is at Hal, and then she plucks a couple of her hairs and puts it in the chainsaw, and she wants to open the door as soon as possible, like to get out of the ship.
So the whirring, the whirring of the chainsaw. Vroom, vroom, vroom. See, I'll get sound effects sometime soon.
Goals.
and goes towards the door. No need, doll. No need. And you can like it, and it opens up and lays down. It's kind of like a haphazard. It's not well put together. Makes a lot of noise and clunks down on the ground, almost like just a wall falling to the ground.
Stand fast, comrade. We appear to be under attack.
I don't know why you're always thinking when people are fighting us. I mean, they could be nice.
We've been at war for centuries now. Everything is an attack in my book. Until it
Doll's
isn't.
ear is twitching, and she's like, something sounds like a vegetable.
Switch will take out their shotgun and have it ready, not knowing what we're getting ourselves into at this point, and take a couple steps out of the ship.
By
And
the way,
what-
I never asked, do you know how to fight, Nova?
I have ways.
Well, good enough for me.
As you see the kind of a wall of a small, it's almost like this a small container or large room. Let's look at it that way, and it's very just square. Nothing too cool about it, just made of metal. And a door plops down, and you see a humanoid figure, a little bit taller than Nova, start to walk down outside of that door.
Huh.
And that's Switch that you're seeing.
I was like, is that me?
Yes, holding a.
I was like, wait, how tall
a
is Nova
large-
and how tall am I?
Yeah, you are a little bit taller than this. You see this humanoid creature that's a little bit shorter than you, but has wings, thinner frame, and you can describe yourself, Sir Carrington. What you see?
Alright. It's basically a humanoid carrot. Just a carrot with arms and legs. From about chest to bottom, he's covered in like I would say scale mail, plate armor, stuff like that. Holding a halberd. Yes, he's a carrot knight.
Aren't you? Are
Wow.
you riding a royal steed at this point?
Yes, a giant aphid.
Do you ride side saddle? How does a carrot ride a steed?
Very awkwardly.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, that's very funny. No, that's
curious.
what you see in front of you, Switch, and you see Switch, a pretty slender humanoid creature, holding like has in their hand like
Double
has-
barrel shotgun.
Well, but they're not going to know what that is. So
Yeah. Oh.
two like cylindrical pipes just coming out of it.
With their metal arm holding it, though. Friend or enemy?
Do we understand each other?
I would say Nova would. But
'Cause
you
I'm
would
not
hear
speaking
you would hear
Droid.
the words, Sir Carrington, but they are not of your dialect. They're familiar, but not to where you can understand them. Nova has
Well traveled.
traveled and out of these realms and different places, so does understand quite well.
It's just babbling archaic nonsense to me. Is it friend or foe?
I think they want to know the same from you.
Are
Like,
you
you can
holding-
understand it?
Yeah. I can understand most languages. I'm pretty fluent in most.
Well, ask it what's it doing here. And is it
Excuse
aligned
me?
with the fruits?
Excuse me, are you aligned with the fruits? This guy wants to know.
He just points at spirit. It's Switch.
Sensing non-threatening from Nova, I will put my shotgun back on my back. What's a fruit exactly?
You ain't ever had an apple before?
Hey, Jace. Jace isn't here. I forgot. He can't look up fruit in his library. I forgot. I'm sure I have before. We've been stuck on the ship and we have no control of it, and it just landed here, and I don't know exactly where we are. Where are we?
Vegetonia.
Oh, right. This is where we were supposed to go. I forgot. What are you guys doing here?
Well,
No.
we live here.
What does it look like? What is this place out of character? What does this place like to us? Because we've been in space. Does it look like Marvin's background?
Yes,
Like
in a
the
sense.
word describes?
More like if you saw the trees behind him, those would be large blades of grass.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're not as dense as like your front yard, but they are sparsely out. But they are like large blades of grass. So if you've ever seen grass as your character, then that's exactly what it looks like.
Does not compute. I don't know.
And I know Doll was trying to just like, I'm out of here.
Yes. So I'm just imagining as their conversation is happening, there's like the chainsaw sound in the background, but she's not coming out just yet. And she's like peering around the side. She doesn't see Sir Carrington. All she hears is Vegetones, I guess.
Vegetones.
so-
That's good.
Vegetones, yes. So then she keeps hearing that, and then she's gonna leap out with her chainsaw because she doesn't know who he is. You just sense that there's some weird hatred of her with vegetables. Anyway, so she leaps out, but she was disoriented from being in space and stuff, and also being very angry. So she doesn't actually. She lands on 2 feet, misses. She looks up and like, oh. She just sees that he's a carrot, and that's okay. And she puts the chainsaw away.
Yeah, good thing we didn't make it a cucumber. That would have been scary. So you are finding Jace is still in the ship in his corner, trying to figure out what the heck just happened this whole time being in this ship, and he refuses to leave. Is like sees the door open, and as we know, Jace hates confrontation, so he does not want to leave that hole. Brucon is refusing to leave the ship because out there it's dirty. He can see it out there. I am not leaving this ship. I am too important for this. I am not going out there. T4 Cole, the conversation, Hal starts to speak with you. T4 Cole, this is where we were all meant to be. It must be played out as written.
Must be played out. Do we all need to be outside of this ship? Do we all need to be here?
No need. But these and this planet relies on your assistance. All of your assistance. You are here for a purpose.
Right. Okay. Here for a purpose.
And you know that
Okay.
what you're hearing from Hal is not necessarily Hal, but almost something he's translating a message from Bit.
I would say this is entirely like probably just like a code back and forth over rather than actual speech to each other.
Yes.
As T4.
It's just
well.
basically a conversation. You know, I mean, with your language, and it's just
Yeah.
beeping back and forth through your hotspot. We got to rename that. Between you two, but you do know that you can. It's a message from Bit before Bit left, that was the message.
Okay, so there was like
Vegetonia. Find
encoded in
Vegetonia.
there. Okay. Right. Do these people need our help?
And then Hal, does that make you happy?
Okay, cool.
And you could tell that's Hal.
Yeah. Emotion is not something I'm still learning how to process in the new form. So
So that's where you guys are having a conversation. You I don't know if T4 are you stepping out of the ship or are you,
I think
hang
after that
back?
conversation he will. And I think it probably happens concurrent with the conversation that's going on outside. But he'll check up on both of the other individuals, kind of as one. I think that's kind of where we also get this is too dirty. I'm not going outside, and we get those quick
and
interactions.
you could Brucon really just wants to have conversations with Hal and go,
Yeah.
what we need to figure this out, and of course, the observance and all the information that Jace got. He
Yeah, just needs
it
process.
looks like he's taking notes, but he's and reading books, but yeah, that's Jace.
Yep. So, and he'll kind of after he checks up on both of them, just goes, "You're not gonna just leave us here, right, Hal?"
I'm here to make you happy.
Well, it would make me happy if you waited for us to come back.
Will do.
And then he will proceed to step out off the ship and join the conversation with everybody outside.
And as you get out there, you see like the small. Remember all those wires and cables and stuff that got chopped up, chainsaws, shot at, everything that happened in that main room.
Yep.
You see some of them start to reconnect and go outside and grab the door and pull it back up. Not very fancy in any way.
Can I do something before
Yes,
the door shuts?
absolutely.
Before the door shuts, Switch would like to run to Jace with a little scribbled note of words that they would like him to look up while we're gone.
Oh, perfect.
Including apple, carrot, and various other things, to which I will send him.
Beautiful.
Dude, could you look up these definitions for me while we're gone?
And he definitely
In your library.
I don't even remember. I can't do his voice like he does. So
In the library.
in
I'm
the library.
In the library.
I can do that for you, Switch. But he agrees without haste. Trust you is like, ooh, more homework to do? Yes. It's very exciting. So you see that little glimmer in his programmed eye.
We will communicate with you if we need help.
Yes, and the communication between Switch and T4 Cole, actually the other two, Doll, you could also, since you still have the Halo, so the direct communication, you can still communicate back to Jace and the ship
Okay.
as you move forward. T4 Cole.
Oh,
is
right.
'cause
She
of
has
the-
her halo
because of
on,
the
so that means she can understand us.
She can.
Then, right?
But you can't
okay.
understand her.
But we can't understand her because
You
I don't have
can.
my halo on.
Yeah. Would you like G4, since you did disconnect that from Switch, you would understand the concept behind what's going on when it comes to communication levels. It's really at this point, since the whole holodeck kind of dissipated with everyone, you would know that now it's just a pure communication device
Gotcha.
with HAL, the ship, and other devices.
Gotcha. So I could safely say, hey, you could probably put this back on. It won't recause more problems.
Or you could repurpose it, or, those types of things.
I might tinker with it a little bit. Here in a moment.
All right, so you guys are finding yourselves face to face with a carrot man, a small flight humanoid girl, woman, and you two are finding yourselves face to face with two machines that look like humanoid creatures, and one that looks like a cat. And the only cats that you've ever seen, Sir Carrington, on this planet are extremely large compared to you.
One of the furred menaces. I thought I would never see the day. But here's one right in front of me. A threat to the kingdom. And traveling with these two, do you have any idea what they are, Nova? They appear to be made out of metal.
They also kind of look like people.
But they're not.
Excuse me. Hey, people robots, can you tell me what you are?
And ask them why they are traveling with a furred monster.
One question at a time.
I have many questions.
Doll
Michael.
sees, she can sense that he has some hostile intent, but she's just like, stares at him, does a little, and then starts licking her paw.
Bah, the furred creature mocks me.
Doll, I know you want to eat the carrot, but whatever that is, but please control yourself. We don't know who these
No,
people are
and then
yet.
she's like hacking up the hairball.
You missed a little drool right on your right there. T4, they don't look threatening to me.
I guess that's no threat. No
And
meaning.
how
at least.
threatening can
We-
a carrot with a stick be, anyways?
I don't know, Sir Carrington.
It is, a carrot the size of a human being.
True.
With,
To you
with a
guys, it just
spear.
looks like really big carrot that's talking to you.
Does it have appendages?
Best new created class, Marvin. Way to go.
Yes, he did.
I already said I put my shotgun up. I will approach and introduce myself. I am Switch. This is T4 and Doll. As mentioned, our ship captured us and brought us here, and we don't know why we're here. But the ship said we needed to get to Vegetonia, which I guess is where we are. Is there some problem on this planet?
And Nova, you would have to
Interpreted all of
interpret.
that
If
back
you wanted
to
to
Sir
say,
Carrington.
at this point, you can just interpret it back and forth.
Yeah, interpreted.
Interpreted. And as you're seeing that, yeah, go ahead, T4, Cole.
No, I apologize. I just was thinking, could I figure
Give
out
him
how
a heads
to implement the halo into the earbuds
Yes.
that I've given out?
See, what you have done is now understood the halo and the earbuds and how they can function together, and you could do a makeshift like earbud, or you can make it into an implant of some sort.
Why don't
Yes.
we do earbud for now? They're less
Pretty
expensive.
easily. I mean, it's quite easy
Okay.
because you did the earbuds already, and
Yeah.
then you have the technology of when you remove the halo from Switch.
Okay, so maybe there's something I could have said I've done during the time we took to get here.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Then he will produce 2 more earbuds from his hand, or he'll produce 3 and pass and hold his hand out to the 2 of you, Nova and Mr. Carrot. I don't have another. Don't know. T4 doesn't know his name yet, so and just kind of hold him out in an open palm.
I think this guy's gonna need some explanation before he takes those. Mind telling us what it is?
What is
He'll
it
kind of
offering
look over to
us?
Switch for confirmation, because otherwise it'll just be sounds and that won't make any sense.
And Nova and Sir Carrington, when you hear T4 Cole communicate,
Beep,
it's
boop, beep,
it's
boop, beep,
whirs and beeps and
Is
yeah,
all kinds
it's like
of
old.
beeps.
Sometimes it's an old dial-up sound, depending on how he's feeling that day.
You got like a floppy drive whirring, just chunking as it goes through the disk.
I'll chime in. Don't worry, they're safe. It's just to help us communicate. I'm just a newer model, so I can talk like you.
I'll tell him that. We'll take the earbuds.
Oh, if it will help us communicate with these things, very
They're
well.
really trustworthy.
What do you call him, thing? Oh wait, I didn't hear that. Never mind.
You heard crunch,
And-
crunch.
He'll hold
Grow, grow.
a third one out to Doll and go, this has some of that Halo tech in it. So
And Sir Carrington's just like, where do I put this? And
wherever you hear
That little
from,
hole by your head.
oh, it's for the ear, I think.
But the Halo is plugged in somewhere in my head. Will T4 Cole have the expertise to take it off?
He
Or-
will now. He
Okay.
wouldn't have before. He did take it out of an Android of Switch, so the studying of it was pretty easy to understand that it's not deep in the skin back there, but just enough to hold in place to where it can get the stem and broadcast.
enough to reach the nerve cluster in the back of the neck.
Okay. So as T4 Cole's like trying to reach for the Halo, I'm like, and then I look at Switch because I've known them the longest, and to see like, should I do this? I don't know if Switch notices. She's just ignoring me.
No, Switch
I'm
can't. She can't under. Did you already give an earpiece to Switch at this point?
I would say I'll be giving
No.
Okay, then I will also. I'd say after I'm doing Dolls, I'll probably also pass one over to Switch.
I've learned to tune out the meow 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 meow.
Actually,
But now it's suspiciously quiet. She's just like staring at you. Like,
Nova jumps in there because she can partially understand some of the words that Doll says and goes and says just, it's okay, because she's not fluent in that language, but she can say a little bit. So she just says meow meow.
wow. And then, yeah, so I guess she can have Tifa's help to take off the Halo.
swap it out for an earbud, which does all the same things but is less intrusive
Right.
to your actual nerve cluster. And then after removing the Halo, we'll pass the final one to Switch.
And those meows become.
Now I have to listen to her. I'm not sure
He's
what
like,
I
you
prefer at this
ignored me!
point.
Look, you can always
cat?
take it.
Or the
Like-
chainsaw.
He'll like send a message over the LAN and say,
We are
"You
one
can
and the
always
same."
take it out."
And Sir Carrington, you're noticing that you're hearing everybody all of a sudden speak Veganese.
What magic is this? I can understand them now.
You all hear him now. His
And Doll
actual.
turns to him. Be glad you're not a cucumber.
I'm still not trusting you, cat.
Sir,
Are you aligned with the fruits? Or are you friends of the veggies? Speak and be heard.
sir, put your glaive away. We're not here to hurt anybody. I don't know what a fruit is. I've asked my associate on the ship to look it up in his library. For the meantime, I don't know what a fruit is, but we mean you no harm. Yet. Why are you
Obscure.
here?
I live here. This is the kingdom of Vegetonia, specifically the lands of House Starch, whose lord is missing. And we have no idea where he is.
He's
And then you hear the little voice of the page is still there.
Oh my god, he's still there.
The page is still. He's been in fear this whole time and almost in tears, holding on to. I don't know. You don't have a leg, do you, Sir Carrington? Holding on to the end of next to your steed and holding on to you.
Oh, Sir Carrington does have legs and arms.
Okay. So onto
Just
one leg that's
kind of
next to your
sticking
steed, just holding on
that-
to it. On the opposite side of where everybody else is. Sir, did you even read the message?
Oh, I suppose I just heard the words Lord Starch was missing and kind of assumed.
Yeah, he is missing. He took his team out to the Greyblade Forest, and he has not come back.
The Greyblade Forest.
And you know of the Greyblade Forest of it's basically the same blades of grass, but something in that area is not something. It's kind of like where all the trees have died. It's all of the blades of grass have died, and they're falling down and very hard. And but nobody really goes through there because you can't really grow much there. The soil's not awesome. So there's nothing much going on in that area, but he was headed out to that area and has not returned. He was headed out to the area to explore, to find out, hey, maybe we can find a way to grow out there. And has not returned in many, many days. And it's only a 1-day trip.
That is not good. Whatever is there has likely captured our Lord Starch, is now holding him prisoner. Or he could likely be dead. We won't know until we head out there. Do we have any available troops, any knights, to go out on an expedition?
No, they went with him.
What? All of them?
Yeah, this was one of the things he wanted to do was make it so we could grow and do so much better in our kingdom, and they haven't come back.
He took all of his knights except me.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm just wondering why Lord Starch left me out. Haven't I served this house for, well, not too long. I was only knighted last month, but still, I would think I would be recognized as a knight of this house.
I'm just the messenger, sir.
Speak up, boy. I can't hear you.
I'm just the messenger, sir.
Is the page like a baby carrot?
It's actually like a small spud,
Okay.
because his name is Yam. So it's a small spud riding a very smaller aphid, one that hasn't been trained very well. So it's still trying to sputter off and leave. You know, Sir Carrington, that on the way to the Grey Forest, there is a kind of a meeting place that a lot of people go to out there to find people, to hire people, to just have a place to rest on the way to another destination. It's a small, kind of gated. In these areas, a lot of things have like a large fence or walls around it because of the large creatures that do live out in these areas. So you do know this, they all have that, but there is one there. Then it's basically just a place called Ada's Ales. So it has a lot of people that communicate and travel and come through that area, in between where you're currently located, by your prairie that you are, and the Grey Blade Forest.
As good a start as any. All right. Yeah, was it?
Tries to hold his composure best he can. Yes, sir.
Right. I am going to take our interpreter here, Nova, and these three. What are your names?
I'm Doll.
Wait, he didn't hear me introduce everybody.
You did, but
Oh,
you
no,
said
'cause I had my
Denova.
thing on.
But you said it to
Yeah.
Nova.
Yeah. Okay. Switch. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh. T4 is so smart. He's brilliant. That's T4.
So did you just volunteer our help without us even? What will you give us, Sir Carrington?
No, I didn't
Mr. Carrot?
volunteer.
Yeah, I didn't volunteer either. I thought we were heading back to meet the eggplant wizard.
Our Lord Starch is missing, and you four are currently trespassing on Vegetonian property.
Your Lord Starch.
Yes.
Our stranger.
Yes. And these
Beam
are
me up,
current-
pal. Beam me up, pal.
These are his lands. We are standing on his lands, and we can't very well do much with the Lord missing. And honestly, I still don't trust any of you. Except
So
for Nova.
why would you take us then? We might backstab you.
Because this is a chance to prove yourselves that you're friends of House Starch. And maybe we can figure out why you're even here. See,
I mean,
it's
I
all
know.
connected.
I know why we're here. We got sent here for some grand plan that supersedes all of us.
And that grand plan is rescuing Lord Starch! Ha-ha!
Nope. That was not part of the plan that was told to us.
Is there compensation in this plan?
And Sir Lord Starch would reward you for your services.
I'd be down for the compensation.
Does your Lord have a spa?
A spa?
I'm also
Yes,
down for the spa.
a place where it's heated and there's hot stones and you
We
get
do have a
massage?
place where veggies are steamed, yes.
That
Sounds like a
sounds-
torture chamber.
Don't think it would-
Well, one man's gold is another man's treasure, right?
Doll, be clear about what you're asking.
That sounds like heaven. She's not even thinking about the other stuff. She says, okay, if you let me stay in there as long as I want, then I'm willing to do it. My fur is getting a little dirty.
I'm not so sure why you would want to stay in the steam chamber, but I long gave up trying to understand furred menaces. So, very well. And for the rest of you, you can ask one boon of Lord Starch. I'm sure he will compensate you. You definitely pretty well. To you, Yam, you have the head of the house. Well, you have the lay of the land. Just make sure the people don't panic until we come back. Sure
Is there anybody higher in the chain of command other than Yam? Just asking for his sake. Points at Yam.
And Yam just looks at both of you. Can't understand what T4 is saying, but knows that you are addressing him. So he looks at you and then looks directly up to you, Sir Carrington. Sir, it's looking at me.
Yes, it asked you a question, boy.
I have a name.
Well,
Oh, its name is T4.
T4. What's T4 want?
You're gonna have to translate for him. He doesn't have it here, bud.
Yes, he's asking what you want, T4.
If there's
That's
anybody
what I
that's
want.
higher than him in the...
I was asking if there's anybody higher than him in the chain of command, but
And he's asking if there's anyone higher than you in the chain of command. Which, seeing as most of our
You-
knights.
You are...
But I have to go on a mission,
Oh.
which only
so
leaves
no.
the eggplant wizard. And we don't trust him.
I gotta go. And the very, like, the fear in this small creature tries to go as fast as possible on this very clumsy aphid steed. Goes the wrong way 3 times before finds the correct direction back to the kingdom. Yes, and that would be Sir Carrington's reaction for sure.
Doll looks after again. He's like, for some reason, I really want to chase him.
Please
We
don't.
don't
The
have
boy's
time,
scared
Paul.
enough as it is.
How is that little bugger in charge of anything?
He's the only ranking, well, kind of ranking noble we have left. He may be a page, but he is of noble birth. Yes, that is how things work here. It's as stupid as it sounds. Even I don't agree with it.
Sounds like nepotism at the worst degree.
Yes, Lord Starch puts a lot of faith in bloodlines, I guess, or root lines. I don't know.
Roots.
And in
We have
roots,
strong roots
strong
here.
roots, and definitely puts a lot of faith in the wizard. Strangely enough, even though it cannot be trusted very much, but obviously the Lord Starch puts a lot of faith in him. So
They at least can be trusted to not burn down the kingdom while we're gone.
yeah, they do
That's
well at
all.
protecting.
That's all the more reason for us to hasten with our mission. I know the way, so if everyone has everything they need, let us move on.
Do we have ways of transportation, or we're not just walking?
Did you bring transportation?
Transportation brought us. We didn't
Yeah.
have a choice.
We don't have a land travel method that is not walking. So
I'm sure maybe we can provide steeds, but I'm not so sure any of you would be able to ride them.
Oh, we're programmed to do lots of sorts of things. You'd be surprised. Find us a steed and we can do it.
Nova, do you need a steed as well?
No, I can fly.
Useful. Very useful. Wish the rest of them could fly. That would make this so much easier, but
I
very
can
well.
fix that.
You can?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, go ahead and do so. The faster we
Okay.
can find Lord Starch, the better.
What are you trying to
I'll
do,
use-
Nova?
I would like to try to use a spell to give them flight.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Ooh.
So let's see. All right, let's see what we can do. Because I know you have those capabilities.
You took arcane background.
Very much so. Let's see here. So you have, yeah. Go ahead and roll a spell casting. So do you have your dice
Eight.
thingy up there? So it's a D8 and a D6.
Perfect. Success with a raise. I got 9.
You got a total of 9.
9.
Oh wow.
No,
Okay.
total. Yeah, 9.
So 9. 9, you are able on this spell to conjure up to where they can levitate and move a little bit faster than like running speed. They'd be able to do running speed while not touching the ground for 2 at this point. Since you had a double success in a sense, because the goal is always a 4. And
Yep.
here we go. You're always trying to reach a 4. This is for the people that are not necessarily you guys, but if anybody's watching, for the people that are watching, success is a 4. You're always trying to get a 4. If it's more difficult, you raise it up to 8, which you already have spell casting ability. So it's a normal goal for you, but you doubled that. So if you beat it by 4, you get to do something kind of on top of that, like a fancy something. So I'm going to give that, if you'd like, I'm going to give the capabilities, you can give it to 2 of the people that, 2 of the humanoids, or the cat.
I'm going to give it to the cat because I think the cat might not be great at riding the aphids.
She was getting ready. She had her claws and was ready to do
9 lives. Cat skills.
And between the two, the androids can fight over it. Who wants to ride and who wants to fly.
So you cast
give it
these
to
2
Fen.
orbs.
He's an older model. I mean,
in a
T4.
sense.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
these 2 orbs that kind of poof, and they become life size. And Doll chooses like jumps in one and then just starts floating. The other one is sitting there, and Switch and T4 Cole are just looking at each other. You saw what it did for Doll.
take a sword.
What would Switch and T4 like to do?
Well, sorry, you're insinuating it out of character didn't work, correct?
No, it's sitting there. You just
Oh,
one of you
it's
has to
sitting
get in.
there. Oh, I'll push T4 towards it. He's an older model. He needs it.
Do you resist at all, T4?
No.
You've been worked with her before. So boop, he's inside of like a kind of a wispy orb that's life size, his size, and he just raises up like 2 feet off the ground.
Reminds me of when I used to have working jet feet things.
I know we need Mandalorian jetpacks.
Right.
We need.
Jetpacks.
I'll bring up the rear. That was out of character. Switch says I will bring up the rear.
Very well. So we have 3 flying companions and only 1. Okay, so we only need 1 steed. But what kind of steed will fit, Do we have any... I don't even know if we have anything to fit you.
What?
What kind of steeds would we have in
They
Vegetarian
should be
anyways?
our size, right?
Five, just 5'10".
So like an aphid would be fine. The same thing you're riding.
An aphid. Maybe a tarantula. Unless that's too much. We'll find something for you.
It doesn't take too long before you're about a few hours, a few day sects into the journey, and you do come across a few things that become options. Switch, you do see a very large spider. You see a rat, very large. You do see, of course, another aphid, not as royal as Sir Carrington's, but a little bit more of a wild aphid.
No other aphid is as royal as good Sydney here.
Yeah, there's nothing, but you get to choose. So Sir Carrington kind of presents them to you as it goes. Like, here, we can talk to these guys. We can do these, because you're just walking in. You can see these creatures.
Curious, Sir Carrington, is there something that would make more sense for me to write up on, not being a native of wherever we are?
Something more suitable for you. Well, aphids are known as the royal steeds of House Starch, so it'd probably be kind of weird for a non-royal to ride them, or a non-noble. A rat is more for the common folk, and tarantulas are more, well, work beasts. We use them to
Doll
pull down
says,
carts
"Hit
and
the
stuff like
rat, pip him up."
I don't know. I was leaning towards spider. Switch will take the spider. Sir Carrington, I have your 6 with the spider.
All right. And do not worry about the face. They're docile. Pink-toed.
And yeah,
I have a feeling he would have a hard time chewing through my metal.
And you do notice that the tarantula that you are riding does not move super fast, very docile, does not really totally keep up with the rest of the crew, but just enough to where you can actually hold up the back end and have their 6, in a sense. So as you are journeying towards in the direction of the Gray Blade Forest, we are going to go ahead and take our 5-minute break, and we will be back very, very soon. See you in a moment, guys. All right, welcome back, everyone. So, you guys, we're gonna get right into it. So, you guys find yourself halfway to the Greyblade Forest. You know exactly where you're going. Do you guys want to? It's up to you guys, but you're halfway there. There's Ada's Ales is there. You just know it's
Yes.
on. That's how you knew it was there, Sir Carrington. You just knew the direction of the Greyblade Forest because you always go to Ada's Ales and you go past. So whoever's leading, you are currently, two of you are floating. One of you is flying, and two of you are riding. Well, one's riding a tarantula.
I'm
And
tarantula.
one is riding a royal aphid. What would you guys like to do?
Tarantula-ing.
So we're nearing. No, character. What's the name again? Scooter.
Ada's Ales is where you're
Ada's
at. You can see it. It's not nothing has really come at you or attacked or anything like that. But it is a gated, very high, pillars with spikes on the end and everything, so that the large felines and the dogs and all those types of creatures do not take it out.
A veritable fortress.
Yeah,
And if
and
I
it's-
know anything. Sorry.
And it's just the Ada's Ales. It's just a little place in the middle of nowhere, but it does need to be protected.
And if I know anything about Lord Starch, he would have stayed here at least for a while before heading on to the Greyblade Forest. So maybe they have information on
Yes,
his
yes, let's
whereabouts.
go. You can buy us all some ales.
Scooter, can I ask time of day? What's our daytime, nighttime sort of?
Yeah, this has been a half day's travel only.
Okay.
Because it's a day's, and we call it a solar cycle, but it's the you've been there a half of a solar of a cycle to get to there, because it's one cycle to get all the way to the Greyblade Forest. That's why. 'Cause
Okay.
should have been back in like a day or two, and now it's been multiple days past that.
Okay. Got it.
So half a day, midday, yeah, probably early afternoon in a sense.
I think I could use the nail, and is that assumed that's what they serve?
Yeah,
Probably be good to
entering
ask
in
the
is very.
folk.
Yep, you come right in. They see you coming. They notice the royal steed, and you walk in, and it is a mixture of. There are some fruit there, not very many, but known for being the friendly side of the fruit. That's why they're there. This is more about people traveling through. This is almost a place where not a lot of fights will break out. It's kind of just a social known that this is kind of your common ground.
A neutrals.
They're the tomatoes of fruit.
Those are the impartial ones.
Tomatoes are traitors.
No matter who you
So-
talk to, tomatoes are traitors.
They,
Geographically, do the fruits live on the other side of the gray grass forest? Is that how that is?
Yeah, you
And so
can do
they're
it that way.
passing through?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a place that where either side travels to. It's just
The fruits reside in more temperate pastures, I would say.
So yeah, it's basically like a medieval tavern you guys have all entered into. I don't know if Switch or T4 would have ever come across something to this, not even in lore or a history book at this point. Doll,
it's-
maybe. And Nova for sure has seen these kind of places in many different societies. And it's basically always it's the public house, it's the place where people meet, and not a lot of fights break out in these kind of places. And even Sir Carrington, you do know of this. And you do enter in at Ada's Ales, and Ada does not, that in this time and era that Ada does not allow anything to happen of that sort. It's more about communicating, hanging out, and a resting spot onto your next destination.
Well, we can rest here for a bit, get our information. I'm not too sure if any of you have the currency of these lands, so Sir Carrington will take out about 10 coins at the 50s god and spread them around. It's enough to get you all root beers. Believe me, they're the finest drinks in the land. For at least a mile.
What sort of characters do we see in here besides?
Yeah, I was
Anyone?
going to ask what kind of character
What do we
Ada
see?
is. What kind of...
Ada's not there. This is
Do you know?
she owns the place, but Ada's
didn't want to accidentally run into a cucumber if we could avoid it.
no cucumbers
kidding.
in sight. But you do see behind the bar a barkeep there of the Starch family. You can't really decide whether it's a sweet potato, regular potato, red, whatever you. But especially people that know what a potato is, they're like, I've never seen a potato like this. Behind the bar, and then other sporadically through there, like there are a few small tomatoes. You'll see some celery, a couple beets, a lot of even some of the things that Sir Carrington is not excited to see. There's a couple strawberries in the corner, just having conversation and throwing back a few and just resting up. They got their feet up and resting.
They don't seem like spies.
Switch will walk over to the bar if there is one
There is.
There is.
and grab a cocktail napkin. I assume if there is one, but that's probably not the right name for it. And
They're behind the bar. Are you asking for one or
no, I'm gonna grab one.
from behind? It's like,
I'm gonna reach and grab one and walk back over to Doll and say, "You might need this for your drool. Just hang on. These are friends, not food. Okay."
She doesn't like vegetables, like to eat them. She just hates cucumbers. She's like, ugh, I would never put them anywhere in my mouth.
Okay. Well, just in case a cucumber walks in, now you have it.
and that starch behind the bar when you grab the napkin just looks up and you go, what do I? Oh, Goes back to cleaning glasses and serving others.
What is it that you serve here, mate?
Oh, what'll I get you? And you see a gruffy female spud of some sort. What'll I get you?
Well, what's on the menu?
Well, we
Nova will
got
cut in and order root beers for everyone and tell everyone to put their coins in.
That's it.
root beer. To you, Nova, because you basically saw she saw you giving them all the money. Like, thank you, ma'am.
And I'll let the other rest of them know. Trust me, it's the only thing that's even worth drinking around here.
Thank you, Nova. Appreciate your advice.
Made from the best roots in the valley.
Nothing worse than bad bar food.
Oh, we've got bad bar food.
Oh, shoot. I said that too loud.
No, we're proud of it. It's bad. So bad it's good.
Avoid the roasted flies. They're
Yeah.
horrible.
I was gonna
Roasted
ask,
flies.
Do they have French fries? What they do to people who fight in the bar?
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
man. It's going to go on for a while.
And this barkeep can totally understand all of you. Has been very well traveled. It's like I said, it's a place where people can travel from spot to spot. Crazy that they would even recognize a humanoid creature and understand. The only one that wouldn't understand was T4 Cole at this point, because it's not an actual. It's communication, but not a language per se.
And T4 also makes no notion to try to speak. And T4 is remain entirely silent at this point. We'll put the coin in, but will not drink any of the beer, as he doesn't have systems to function that and do anything with that beneficially. So
Doll is gonna finish hers and then look at T4 and then try to take his beer.
when Doll finishes hers and then just looks over like with the eye of like, you gonna drink that? He just kind of slides it down. He goes, all yours.
So the what was the plate that you called, Sir Carrington? What'd you have? The flies,
Roasted fly.
roasted flies. A small order of roasted flies come up. There you go, roasted flies. You're part of the royalty around here, ain't you?
Oh, just me?
Yes, I'm addressing you.
Well, I am a newly knighted carrot of House Starch. Speaking of which, I am on a mission that I'm not so sure if you would be able to help, but it would be greatly appreciated.
Sure thing. Try some of those roasted flies.
I will if you keep your voice down for a minute, my good sir.
I can't. I've never seen a carrot have the runs before. So can you please try some of these roasted flies?
I will if you keep quiet for a moment.
Oh, all right.
and Sir
Keeps
Carrington
refill- and
tended-
as anybody finishes a root beer, another one comes up. We got royalty in the house. He's got to have money.
Speaking of royalty, we are looking for Lord Starch himself and his contingent of knights. They've been missing for days. On an expedition to the Greyblade Forest. They should have only been gone for a day, but it's been several, nearly a week. Have you seen any signs of them?
Well, I know he came through here about 7 cycles ago. Yeah, he didn't talk to me much, but orders his regular 17 root beers.
Did you see anything?
Those his root beers. Oh no, he was talking to Tilly over there in the corner. You might want to talk to her. Yeah.
She's still here.
Oh, Tilly's always here. I don't think she has a real job.
Well, it's a good a lead as any.
You want to keep your tab open?
I have money to spare.
All right, another round, all. Yeah, all right. You and T4 Cole has now like 3 full root beers in front of him.
And he'll just kind of pass them out to whoever needs one. And just kind of is like,
Meh.
Wait, you can't drink that? Oh, I have that upgrade where I can actually consume things like this.
yeah, I don't have I don't have any of the internal systems to mimic human function.
I mean, I can mimic it, but I can't taste it, so I just pretend.
Yeah, I would say if I put stuff into my body, it just starts coming out of wherever there's current, scrapes and other places that the armor links up at. It's just awkward.
Yeah, well, let's not do that.
Yeah, no.
Fair.
So who is this Tilly that the
Who
barkeep
is
pointed
this
us to?
silly?
You see, Lilith is the barkeep. And there's like, she's right over there. She's. I don't think she has a job. So just over in the corner, you can tell is half sloshed. Basically, hasn't bathed in who knows, maybe not ever. But it is another Spud type, but quite a bit larger. And just chilling over there in the corner, feet up.
So, I will present myself. Not in that way.
Like, whoa.
Yes, just present myself for it as a knight.
I don't know this vegetable culture yet. Even as the storyteller. Whoa. No.
But yes,
No one has resisted this before.
What would a carrot even shell, anyways?
The nub between its legs.
We don't have to keep going on this line of thought. if
Not
we
a
have
question we need answered. Moving on.
Use your imagination,
Billy,
people.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am Sir Maxwell Carrington of House Starch, and I need to ask you several questions on the whereabouts of Lord Starch himself and any knights he may have with him.
Many questions.
Yes, many questions. Are you in
Doll is watching, but she shakes her head and she goes, I guess I can help him a little bit since he paid for booze. So she's going to knock that, the glass out of Tilly's hand, gives him the full one. Because the one that he was drinking was almost empty.
And as you see Tilly, like the glass that you knocked off the table out of her hand was like almost holding her balance. So when he knocks out, almost gives support on the next one. Thank you, ma'am. Questions?
Yes, questions. You were seen talking with Lord Starch the last time he was here. Do you know what happened to him? Where is he?
He rushed out of here a while ago. Was that today?
It's been several days since he was here.
Oh. So should I be asking you the questions?
I'm the one asking the questions here.
So a few days ago, went out real fast and didn't even seem like he was walking. It was weird. But he went out there. And he just pointed at the front door. There's only one door. There. Yeah. Talking about Greyblade Forest and saving the whole vegetable land. You know, trying to make like peace and
I see what your job is now. Being the town drunk.
this isn't a town. Royalty.
Can you give me anything lucrative, as in what he was talking about? Were there any fruits tailing him?
Fruits. Nope, no fruits. He's just kind of floated out. I don't know. Just floated out that way.
Is there any like a persuasion or intimidate thing I can do to maybe get Tilly to remember something like stable?
Maybe. What do you want to do? What are you trying to do to Tilly?
I'm going to knock the glass out of her hand and just shake her, saying, "Sober up and tell me what you know. It is imperative I find Lord Starch."
You have a persuasion. So let's use that as like a persuasion. Do a persuasion roll. Roll a d8 and a d6.
A D8 and a D6.
At the same time.
D8, D6. I got a 6 and a 2.
What did you get the 6 on?
The D8.
Okay. So you do. The reason is you know about aces in here. It's kind of like other games where they explode. Aces are if you roll a d6 on a d6, you get to roll it again and add to it. But you got a 6, so that is a success. Knocks it out. It's half full and falls on the floor.
It's all right. I paid for it.
I didn't do anything wrong. That's paid for. What happened? So you can see there's a little bit more pep and not as, yeah, you can see a little bit of the fear is not sobering, but it's sobering. So, what? So, Lord Starch was here, and it was like left in a mad dash out. The knights were outside guarding, and then they weren't there, and then it's like Lord Starch just floated off, like somebody was carrying him, but there was nobody there.
Carrying him. Nobody there. And the knights were outside.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there at all.
It's like it's just being carried by something and yelling about the Greyblade Forest and saying all I want to do is make peace.
Sir Carrington, I think you can ask your friend Nova, since she knows magic. Maybe she can trace what happened.
That is a good idea, Ferd Menace.
I like that.
That's always going to But yes, maybe Nova actually knows what kind of magic
Where
this
is Nova at this point?
I'm over at the bar with Switch, throwing him back.
You can't have too many root beers.
No such thing.
Nah.
Another barkeeper? Keep him coming. Got the stir paying for him.
Yeah. I keep your tab open. Well, Sir Carrington's tab. Royalties.
While I'm drinking this, just as an aside, I'm gonna make a list of things I want Jace to look up. Like, what does root beer actually taste like for the list?
All right.
Do you go over to Nova and ask?
Yes. Sir Carrington's going to hurry over to Nova and say, wait, stop the drunken debauchery. Nova, I need you to translate some magic for me. It seems Lord
Magic?
Starch was carried off by some invisible force.
That is strange. They didn't see carried off how?
From what Tilly tells me, he was just floating off.
Like in an orb?
I'm not too sure.
If there wasn't an
didn't-
orb, then that's some dark magic.
Of course. This is all the work of orange warlocks. That's just my assumption.
And then the whole bar is silent after you make that announcement.
Do you have a
Yeah, everybody
crickets
stops
sound
talking.
effect, Scooter?
God, I wish.
Like says it so loud, everyone's like, what?
I wish I had like
add that to your list.
especially if I had like the Law and Order one. Dun dun.
Yeah. Get DCA made for that though.
Yeah, I know. So I could do it now. Dun dun. So that's not even close. So you do know that yes, there's dark magic involved. You can find. Let's just do a with you, Nova. I'd say I don't want to do a spell. Yeah, you could. I think you could have a spell up your in there to kind of do like a residue of
Like a tracing. That was what I was
of
thinking.
magic
Yeah.
that was in the area at any given time.
And that's
So-
a great idea. If
yeah.
we can trace that magic, we can trace Lord Starch.
So
Great
just
idea.
roll a spell casting, which is the D8
Yep,
and the
that's what I'm
D6
doing. Nope. Got 3.
on both.
No, a 1 on the D8 and a 3 on the 6.
So you're noticing that magic happens in here all the time, but it's never
just too
harmful
much.
magic. That
But
you
something
can
that
notice.
I did pick up is that there was no traces of fruit magic. It was all vegetable magic.
That's what you're getting from that.
Yeah.
From that roll.
But it's chaos, like so you can't see or feel anything. But all I know is it's not fruit magic.
So it's not the fruits this time.
This is the
Could it
information
be?
you're getting.
Could it be that he was betrayed by vegetables?
Quite possible. You guys are pretty shady.
Especially certain nightshades.
Nightshades. That's exactly what.
Well, if this is all the information we have, then it's
Let's
something.
Maybe
go.
if the same magic. My thought would be that if the same magic occurred, maybe if we follow it, like if that's what took him to the Greyblade Forest, if we go towards the Greyblade Forest, we might be able to get a stronger read on it.
That is a great idea. If everyone is done drinking their horrible root beer, we should head off to the
Marky,
forest.
6 root beers to go, please.
I'm not made out of money. Make it 3.
3 each. Okay.
And as
I'll
you
take T4 Coles.
yeah. So you have some makeshift to-go cups, like maybe some leather pouches and stuff you start filling with the root beer. And as you're walking out and following kind of this magic trail that's kind of go out the front door, because there's only one door, and head towards the Greyblade Forest. Hey, you forgot his flies. Man.
I'm not eating those things even if I was being threatened by cucumbers.
That was a lie,
Cucumbers are
but-
the executioners of Echetonia.
Okay.
So you also hate them.
Not hate, tolerate them. They provide a service. Especially when that service is executing traitorous tomatoes.
So you're headed towards yeah, these tomatoes. I hate to be a tomato in this. Nobody likes the tomatoes.
I feel like this is Witch the entire time.
And what word is that? What word is that? It's like watching a tennis
Looking at
match.
T4, then, huh?
Yeah, what does T4 think of all this nonsense?
He's just here, man. I don't really know that there's a, like, I think T4 has at least heard of some of these fruits and vegetables in a loose sense, especially given his knowledge from the coal side of things. But with the inability to actually eat any of it, it's all kind of comes over his head a little bit.
And where we are currently is too far from the ship. So he's just kind of stuck with us.
But anyways, on to the Greyblade Forest. And hopefully to Lord Starch.
You make it to the Greyblade Forest pretty easily. It's another half day to get there. So you're
At this
there.
point, are we traveling at night?
You've been there for a while, so it's probably evening. So to reach the Greyblade Forest, you'd probably be there middle of the night, maybe early, like equivalent to like 1 a.m. So yes, and the sun, the sun here is not going to. It gives you more daylight than normal because of the vegetation. So that's why all these things can flourish and grow. So it has more of a longer day cycle than other planets would have. So you'd have a good 30 to 40 hours in a day, and the sun would be up for most of that, so that you can get these things to grow, and for Sir Carrington to just be alive, for one thing. A lot of these, they all need this to survive. So get there. It is the middle of the night. It is definitely dark, but you can sense, especially somebody who has an arcane background, the spellcasting, and knowing through the wand that you carry, that it senses like there is some darker magic that is going on in this area. You do see or hear a familiar voice. At least Sir Carrington does. You can hear it in the middle of the Gray Blade Forest is probably maybe 100 to 150 meters from where you're at. A voice just saying, all I wanted was peace. That's all I wanted. And it is Lord Starch.
That voice. Lord Starch? Lord Starch! Come, Sydney. We have found him at last. And Sir Carrington just charges toward the voice.
Let's go keep these people alive.
I was like, ugh,
Yeah, we all kind of face to palm.
these vegetables.
So are you all following him in?
A lot more cautiously.
Yeah.
So I've
Take
got
out my
like
chainsaw.
a spell kind of brewing, hands ready, That's my weapon of choice.
I'll take out
Weapon
the
drawn.
shotgun and I will dismount my tarantula and look up at the sky and wonder where I am again. Where am I?
How did I get here?
How did I
that's,
get here?
I think that's a very android. Like, what is this?
Right there
These
with you.
fleshy creatures are so weird. So as you follow in, you will find, Sir Carrington, you will find Lord Starch on his knees with his head down. Does hear you coming up and looks up. You shouldn't have come.
But my lord, I had to come. I am a royal knight. And you are in danger, sir. What have they done to you?
But now you're in danger.
Wait, what?
What is everybody in this? If you're in the vicinity of Sir Carrington, what is everybody's parry?
7.
You're 7?
What was my parry? My parry is a 7 as well. Yep.
Oh,
Nova 9. Dose.
I'm at a 6, and I'm also. It depends on what it's coming from, though. But I might have an edge that might change that.
So who? Doll, yours is 7. Sir Carrington,
7.
7. Nova, 2. T4 Cole, 6.
7.
And a 7.
6.
Um,
2.
2. Yours is a 2.
2.
Okay. So everyone besides Doll and Sir Carrington will be struck. It's very small, piercing feeling that kind of it goes through like your arm. It's gonna catch you, Nova, in your left arm, and in Doll in your right leg. No, you had a 7. Sorry, T4 Cole. It is going to take you in the right leg, and then
Is it
switch.
something that's?
What's up?
Is it? Sorry, I have a quick question. Is it something that is like moving within melee range?
This is not.
Okay, never mind then.
And it's almost, and you can feel it, and then switch, you would take one also in your leg. And what you're feeling it being like is a sharp quill type thing that actually punctures into you and is now sticking out of you, like a small spear or arrow is now inside of you. I'd like for you 3 to roll spirit. The ones that got struck. Because I'm going to see if you guys were shaken by this.
I'm like, I have 2. Okay.
4?
I only have +2 to be recover from shaken, but not
6.
when I get shaken.
There's going to be an 11 actually, because I roll 4 on a d4. I roll it again into another 4 into a 3.
So you have taken Nova. What about you, Switch?
I got a 4 on the 4 and a 3 on the 6.
Okay, so re-roll the 4 because you got a 4 on the 4.
Oh, yeah. 4 on the 4. Come on. Oh, I got another 4.
Roll it again. You're at 8. Roll it again.
Oh my gosh, I'm not making this up.
Okay, you're at 12. Keep going.
I swear
Keep going.
That's
it's down
fine.
flat. I got a 3 that time.
Okay. So, Nova, you don't take a shaken. You are not stunned by this, but it is still in your skin, and you're like, well, that sucks, right? T4 Cole is more of because what you rolled T4. Sorry, I apologize. She exploded with
You're
her
good.
dice.
I also exploded, so I had an 11.
11.
From that.
Yours is as soon as you get punctured in the leg, you just pull it right back out, and your katana is now in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you can physically, in your mind's eye, know exactly where that came from. Doll, I would like you to go ahead and the same similar situation. You pull the quill out, boomstick
You mean
it comes
switch?
up. Oh, switch,
Mean
sorry.
switch.
Pulls up, and you know exactly where it comes from, and you fire. So go ahead. Yours would be an attack from probably a 10 feet. So I think it was 2. What did we decide on that was to attack it? And when we were doing that, 10, 2d6. Roll 2d6, switch.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at my character sheet.
Yeah, because you have
2d6.
1 to
2d6.
3 d6 depending on how far it is.
5 and a 2.
Okay, so 7.
Yeah.
So you do find purchase. What you're finding is this was something that now has been hit, and Sir Carrington can definitely see what this is. There's 3 of them. One that just has a katana basically pointed straight at one of them. The other one just got blown away by a shotgun, or to you it might be called a boomstick because you've never seen this before. But you do know that this is the Fruitopian tribal party, which is made up of the Orange Warlocks.
I knew it.
Oh, you and your fruits.
So one of them has dissipated, and when it comes to these warlocks, they were currently in ghost form where you could not see them, which is Nova would know that this is part of the dark magic and the dark arts.
Well, if we're surrounded.
Well, there's 2
so-
of them. One of them has a katana pointed right at it. One is further behind Lord Starch. One was kind of to the left of Lord Starch and got blown away by Switch. That's
I'll
currently
go-
where we're at.
All right. I'll go after the one that's currently not being threatened with a katana.
Let's go ahead and draw our cards for this one round. So if you guys have cards, draw one. If you don't, I will draw one for you. Sound good?
Yeah, you'll have to go.
Yes.
I do, but I will let you draw, Scooter.
Cool.
Yeah, I figured it'd just be easier. I'll let you draw as well.
Want to make sure that the jokers are shuffled in, because we've actually used these to play games. They're just so big. All right. So, and as we learned even more better last week, it's just basically high card goes first, and if there's a tie, then it relies on the suit. So I'm just going to go around the horn here, and on where my screen is, a doll is first. So doll 7, and then Nova 6, And then switch. 10. Sir Carrington. 2.
Aw,
Well, I think you're talking to Lord Starch. You were like
Yeah.
really engaged, so that works out pretty well.
Yep.
And then 3 for T4 Cole. So the order just for this round, because on the way this game is played is every round you draw these, so you can go. Anybody can go in a different order. So first would be switch. What would you like to do?
Seeing
you just
as
blew
how-
one away.
Seeing as how that works so well, how many more in my view?
They're all in your view. There's the one that was in
Sorry,
front
how
of
many?
you was 10 feet in front of you. The other one is 20, the one that's behind.
Okay, got it.
Lord
Looking
Starch.
for range, which 20 will do, so I can shoot the one that's 20 feet away from me.
Yes.
Safely.
And, yeah, and
with
I'd,
my shotgun.
which should be easy.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be much for a parry on there. So go ahead and roll shooting on that one.
And looking at my notes. I'm trying to remember.
You have a D4 in.
It's a
shooting.
D4, yeah.
So roll a D4 and a D6.
I got a 3 and a 2.
So you do pull it up, fire
Whoa.
at, and you see it turn back into incorporeal because it sees. Already saw the other one get blown away, and your fragments, your shotgun BBs, just kind of go through nothing, and then it comes back to corporeal. Do you want to do any movement at this point, or
Yeah, I'll move closer to it.
okay? So
Bye.
you step up. So you're about 5 feet from it. You're like coming
Yep.
full bore at it. Let's see
charging.
here. And
And
Neat.
cursing my shotgun at the same time.
have you named it yet,
Yeah. Thelma.
Thelma?
Oh, yeah.
Pippin Thelma. And then Doll, what would you like to do?
So, doll. Okay, so right now,
Chainsaw.
Switch and
Chainsaw. Chainsaw. Sorry.
I have something better. Switch and Sir Carrington are both kind of close to both splits or both oranges. Is that correct?
Yeah, Sir Carrington's closer to Lord Starch. Kind of look at it as Sir Carrington, Lord Starch, orange, orange, orange. And the one to the left has been blown away. The one behind
Okay.
is the one Switch is going at. And the one on the right, T4 Cole, has a katana drawn in its face.
Okay, so I have a stun grenade. I'm actually gonna try to throw it for like a little bit farther from Switch and Sir Carrington, but still close enough where it will hit the fruits. So would that be athletics?
Should be. I think you. Let me look at your. I think it should.
It could be athletics or fighting, but I think fighting is melee.
On, not necessarily fighting. Yep. Let's do athletics.
Athletics? Okay.
I'm looking at your stats. Oh, that's a D8. Even.
Well, that's 6. So I got a 6 on the D6 and then a 1. So 7.
No, you get to re-roll the D6.
I did. So, and I got a 1.
Oh, no. So you got a 7 total. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, you get to go ahead and what kind of damage does that put out there?
So it says targets must make a vigor roll at -2 with a raise or be stunned.
Got it. I can do that. So a vigor roll with what?
-2 with the raise. I don't know what that means.
Don't even worry about it. They rolled I have actually a D10 in vigor, and rolled
Wow.
a 2 on the D10 and a 2 on the D6. So
Oh wow.
currently, both of them, even the one in front of T4 Cole, is stunned.
Woo-hoo.
Oh my god. Okay, so no. Do you want to do anything else? Do you want to do any movement or?
I'm gonna get a little closer to Lord Starch in case something happens around there.
Nova, what would you like to do? She wants to unmute first.
I gotta unmute first. So because I am actually humanoid, the other two who got hit probably were not affected by the pain as much. I would like to try to heal my wound so that I can participate in the battle.
So you just want to heal up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull it out, heal it up.
Do a healing roll on yourself.
11. Roll a 6 on the D6 and
Jeez.
then re-roll the 5.
Not even a problem. So without even much of a reaction as it goes in there and you notice it there, you don't even worry about pulling it out. You just cast your wand and it falls out, and you come right back to where you were before.
Awesome.
Anything
And
else?
then I am going to. Let's see how I want to do this. I'm going to jump. I was flying, obviously perched kind of up in a tree when this all happened, because
Of
up
course.
there, kind of watching everything. And I'm going to jump down where everyone else is, but I'm going to jump in front of the warlocks facing the rest of the people. So protecting them behind me, and everyone notices that I'm not on their same side.
I still want to do dun-dun.
Orbs are prepared.
So,
Next time.
There we are.
Next time.
Yeah, T4. You're noticing that the katana that you have drawn at one, and they're both stunned, but your new found acquaintance, Nova, is now in front of both of them, fully healed up with small, her magic starting to go in her hands.
Gotcha. I will probably just go for a swing for this first one, and see what I can hit.
Okay, so it's gonna just roll damage because it's stunned. It has been stunned. As you go for it, though, I would just tell me what the number is.
Okay.
Actually, go ahead and roll an attack too.
Roll an attack.
Roll
Okay,
it.
so-
Roll the attack part of it too, because I need to know Nova's parry.
I'm still low.
Still 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just really confident.
So
Yeah, sister.
Is Nova's in between myself and
Right. So I'm just saying you're going for it, but as you go for it, I'm going to have Nova roll a parry because she could get damaged on your way to it.
could I maneuver myself first to not hit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to do that so where there's less of a chance.
Okay.
Of doing that.
So just roll damage then,
Okay,
because movement's pretty easy.
gotcha. Okay, not a huge number, but 5. In total.
5. Without much difficulty, this orange warlock, you take a lot of purchase because it's stunned. and in its corporeal, like it's right in front of your face, and takes a full. You take a slice of orange, and yeah, you get your eyes. If you were human, your eyes would burn a little bit because it's citrus, but since you're not, it's just you're covered in like splatter of orange. You're also getting a message from the ship, your ship, that's saying, T4 Cole, the stability is not there anymore. The ship might be leaving.
I need you to wait.
I'm coming to you. Sir Carrington, what would you like to do?
Is there one of the orange fiends still up?
There's the one that is stunned currently directly behind, in between. You are on one side of Lord Starch, and on the back side of Lord Starch is the other one with Nova in front.
And I'm on a mount, right?
Yes.
I wanted to charge this orange. Like, set my halberd down and just charge straight for it.
Do it.
I need somebody to draw this.
Just draw. You
I
just
need-
your aphid
I need somebody to draw this.
digs in and charges directly around. You go right around Lord Starch. And you take at it. You shouldn't find any, again, do you have a charge attack stat or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a charge
for
rule. A rider on a charging horse or aphid adds +4 to his damage roll with a successful fighting attack.
There you go. Do it.
So, what do I roll?
Well, I'm trying to find your stats.
No problem.
Because it's, what are you trying to do? You have a charge?
Yeah, charging just adds damage. I'm trying to attack it with my halberd.
What about a riding skill?
Yeah,
Let's do a riding skill. Go ahead and roll that. Roll 2d6s.
2d6. Gotcha. I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, so you got a 3. The charge does not do well, but you do nudge Nova to the side because Nova's parry is a 2. So I'll just say we'll go against it, and it does nudge her to the side, and you do get right in front, but it just doesn't seem to budge. You weren't going quite fast enough to get to there. So as you're in front of the warlock, the orange warlock, all this has transpired. 2 of them are completely down, and you hear the same whirring as you did before, and the Howl station has appeared probably within 50 meters and is there. And the orange warlock, stunned, but can still look at you and speak to you, Sir Carrington. We did what we were supposed to do.
And what was that purpose, fiend? What was the purpose?
And as you're screaming that, it dissipates, almost like it turns into a cloud and goes away into the ground. Now you are standing there with 2 slaughtered oranges. You know where they came from. You have a questionable enemy ally and a ship that has just shown up. And T4 Cole knows that it's about to leave.
Cowards. One and all. And that ship is back.
If we want to keep the ship, we should probably get onto it. It's not staying long. So
Wait, I need to ask of Lord Starch what happened.
then let's take him with us. Are you coming with?
Well, seeing as his knights are not here, it's the only safe place I can have for the moment.
Yeah, Hal might kill you, but we can probably stop him again.
Lord Starch looks at Sir Carrington. Finally has like a little bit more emotion to him, like confidence, just a little bit. Stands up, turns around and looks at you, grabs his sword, shoves it in the ground. The kingdom's now yours.
Wait, Lord Starch? What are you doing?
I can't go on anymore. This was not a battle we're supposed to win. I am supposed to lose. It's what's written.
What do you mean? Lose against the fruits?
It's much bigger than the fruits.
He's right, Sir Carrington. It's bigger than all of us.
Huh. And the only recourse is to go with these four strangers. Is that what you're telling me?
You need to protect this kingdom. What you choose is up to you.
Well, the true enemy seems to be not here.
At this point, go ahead and what is everybody's? Does everybody has notice, right? So everybody roll a notice.
Notice. Huh.
So if it's the +2, I rolled a 4 on a 4 +2 plus a
The D4 and then another die, right?
yeah plus your d6.
You always roll a d6 in addition to whatever your stat is. All right, so
9?
Doll, you have a 3, a 4 for Nova, T4,
All for me.
12,
Yes.
Rolled a 3.
3.
I got that right before I tell you. Yeah.
Switch.
A 6 and
9.
9. And then T4, what'd you get? Sorry?
12, but 651.
Okay. Yeah. So while this all is occurring, you do see something in the distance. Humanoid creature. You'd sense not harmful, but seems to be looking at you through some sort of glassware or almost like a large tube. Puts it down, enters something into its, you would notice like a data pad, switching T4 Cole. The other people, Nova might, Doll might, but Sir Carrington, not even close. Puts something in a data pad, puts it in his pocket, turns around, and walks away. That's where we're going to go ahead and end our episode today.
But who was that?
Was that person?
Was it another orange warlock? The fiend?
We don't know.
Probably some fruit.
So,
Another fruit.
friends and foes, allies and deception, or who knows? Thanks, everyone. Thank you guys for playing. This was amazing. This was fun to see all you guys. Sorry for going a little bit long, but I wanted to make sure that we got some of this taken care of on this episode.
The
Since
carrot needed his rightful way to the throne.
yes, there is.
That what happened? Was Sir Carrington just knighted
There's no.
again?
There's no one. There's no knights left. You are the last knight, and Lord Starch is not what he used to be at this point. You know, as a human or as a veggie, he's just not. So that
He's
is
soggy now.
Yep, this is the end of episode 3, which is called "Starch is Not a Food Group," is the title of this episode. So, thank you so much for playing, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. I think there was some cool character development here and some cool characters that hopefully, I don't know, it's kind of a one shot for a couple people. Marvin and Ariel, thank you so much for being here. This was totally rad for me to see you guys play. I haven't played with a game with Marvin forever. And with Ariel, we've never played an RPG together. So go figure. So thank you so much. We are going to take a little hiatus because there's different holidays and stuff going on in the world. So this show will be back on December 10th. So you will see some reoccurring characters. Or January 10th. That is December. I
You
said
keep
that.
trying to get us back to December.
Holy
Steve.
cow. I said that before the show started.
Yep.
Everybody corrected me then, and I still didn't. I should take more notes. What is today? I should just have today is January 10th, 2021. We will be back doing this. You'll see some reoccurring characters, some you haven't seen yet, those types of things. So until then, you got to make sure at home, right, to pull up a chair and make time to table.
Time to tabletop.
Marvin knows the drill. We're getting there.
Bye,
Lucy
y'all.
knows it. We'll get
We're
there.
getting there.
All right. Love you guys. See you soon.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.